Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. It is RAWBall Tuesday, baby bitches. It is the Captain 87, the shirtless Matty Laws, the Misfits, Mr. Laundry, Dev, the Stoned Rios. Holy shit. Fuck all, ladies and gentlemen. We are here. We have got a shit fuck ton load of NFL news. We don't even have a game plan for this. We are just going to get right into this shit here.
It's mostly going to be football. Before we jump into that, please, we just need one more player to sign up for our fantasy league. One more minimum,
preferably 3.
Yes. So
it's a $25 entry fee to play with the Raw Ballers. It's chump change. It's what you spend on Starbucks in a given day.
Honestly,
we need the bodies. Matty, it's nice seeing that your upper, I can see your neck is, you can see sun.
You can see the color right here, and then the iris right here.
Yeah, there's but we are
really
starting
bad on my arm.
Sam, I'm getting can as hell on mine too.
Well, let's just get into some breaking news from Dallas, Texas.
Holy shit, I haven't had to flash this up in a minute. Breaking news.
The Cowboys have signed cornerback Trayvon Diggs, 5 years, $97 million.
Cornerback, not quarterback.
Cornerback.
Yeah, I heard quarter, but just to verify, it was cornerback.
Yeah, cornerback Trayvon Diggs, 5 years, $97 million fucking dollars.
And didn't his brother Quandre just sign a contract as well? Like all the Diggs brothers have contracts except for Stephon. I think he's on his contract year, correct?
Yeah, but apparently Uncle Jerry decided to re-sign him. I just turned on the Red Sox game so that we can enjoy the sadness. But yeah,
there was also a big signing that the Celtics did.
I have that as a banner. We will jump into that because I do want your guys' total reactions to that, because that was a fuck ton of money that they spent.
Yes.
Yeah, a mega bag.
There is the link right there. Lots of guys getting paid today.
Yeah, I guess we can jump into that real quick. The
5 years, $304 million.
The richest contract in NBA history. And what's crazy is he's not even the third best player on their team.
No, Tatum's their number one.
I was gonna say, that's the type of money I'd expect them to pay.
I almost wish we had like a Ted DiBiase drop. Money, 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 money.
Especially whenever people get these types of contracts. Like you said, 5 years, $304 million.
That's what I'm seeing.
Cap, you're the money person. Can you break that down? How much per year is this man making?
That is $60.8 million a year. So that is that's a shit ton of coin.
Let's use that before we jump to the next topic, because this actually coincides with the next topic. What are your guys' thoughts on not even your guys' top player somehow making this much money?
Like in the NBA or in sports as a whole?
Like just period end. Like Cap, you're as a baseball fan, you are a fan of the White Sox. Like imagine them giving this type of money, not to like a Dylan Cease, but imagine they gave that type of money.
What the fuck, Dev? Are you God?
No, it's like a shirt with a sleeveless shirt. I'm just fucking with it because it's hot. It's like 97 degrees in this bitch.
It is very hot today.
It's 95 degrees here with about 70% humidity. Shut the fuck up, you whining Colorado bitches.
Yeah, it is 98 degrees with 107 degree feels like. Or not 170, 107.
Jesus, Hebrew God.
But I will say, if
Maddie is podcasting naked. That's how hot it is.
Damn near. Alora just chimed in. She's like, if you're a ginger, it feels like 170.
Well, we can't see what Maddie has on beneath the camera, so we'll just...
Black shorts.
Okay, we'll leave it at that then.
But I will say, like, Cap, this would be like if the White Sox, like, you guys don't have the money, but if you guys were to have that money, instead of giving that...
If we were to spend that level of money on any of the guys on our roster, I would be pissed.
Exactly. I'm assuming Celtics fans are not very happy about them paying this type of money to Jaylen Brown.
I'm a Celtics fan. What the fuck?
Jaylen Brown is one of those players that you could have got really good draft capital out of, or another really good player out of. But they chose to sign him, a utility guy, massive money.
He's barely even on the main rotation.
Maddie, I got some breaking news.
Is it bad?
It's pretty fucking big. This just came out on ESPN.
It's just dropped on ESPN. Oh, yeah. This one is hilarious. So I read it, and I could not.
Oh, no. I know that last one. Why?
I couldn't make sense of it at all. So, Kat, can you please, for those of us who are dumb, explain why he's getting suspended?
How does a coach get suspended?
Okay, so let's try to put this into
layman's
terms. Apparently, this stems from a recruiting faux pas violation, but of someone turned their goddamn TV down. I'm guessing it's Dev.
Yeah, I don't have a TV on, but I think it's... Babe, can you turn your phone down? Thank you.
That's her phone?
I'm not even near her. She's in the living room and I'm in the kitchen. I didn't think you guys would hear it. It's probably my earbuds.
So apparently, Michigan football has gotten into some recruiting hoo-ha, and Jim Harbaugh, arguably the best coach in college football other than Nick Saban, is facing a 4-game suspension.
So by recruiting faux pas, is this along the lines of like a contract tampering issue, or?
It's a level 1 violation, which is the most serious level of violation in the NCAA.
Is Harbaugh himself paying these kids?
I'm scrolling up here. Give me one moment here. I will share my screen here.
Go ahead.
So we can kind of read through this together.
I read this article earlier, and I couldn't make a fucking lick of sense about it.
So, Michigan football coach Jim Harbaugh and the NCAA are in discussions about a so-called negotiated resolution for a 4-game suspension in the 2023 season. Sources confirmed to ESPN on Tuesday. This is a level 1 violation, the most serious kind.
Okay.
Harbaugh's attorney, so he's got attorneys involved in this. Quote, "We are continuing to work cooperatively with the NCAA staff on an enforcement matter. At this time, we are not allowed to comment on possible penalties or other aspects of this matter."
All right. Here we go. The alleged recruiting improprieties are tied to alleged... Oh, you just skipped it.
The alleged... where?
Scroll up just a little bit. Up a little more. Up. There we go. That the alleged recruiting improprieties are tied to alleged violations that took place during the COVID-19 recruiting dead period. The initial investigation into Michigan included just 4 level 2 violations, which are less significant in scope, but the failure to cooperate emerged during the investigation in January. There were multiple meetings between Harbaugh and the NCAA in which he refused to admit he lied during the investigation. Oh, okay.
Which does not shock me about Harbaugh, because Harbaugh is a hard ass and he will not admit defeat until you fucking have a ice pick ready to go into his left nut.
Yeah, it is now that I've read it a little bit more detailed, I'm assuming he offered a player maybe some monetary value to join after the recruiting period had already ended. I'm not sure. That's the only thing that and I think the only reason it got escalated the way it did is because he chose to lie instead of be truthful about it to the NCAA officials themselves.
And
but he's getting cancel culture for what was this during the COVID era?
Let's not forget Harbaugh. Not only at the end of last season and the season before has still been rumored as being an NFL coach to possibly be hired.
Yeah, I was about to say even into last season, before he agreed to sign with Michigan again.
And let's also not forget Pete Carroll, head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. Somebody turned their shit down.
I think it's still.
Let's not forget Pete Carroll ran to the Seahawks in the wake of the USC hoo-ha. So all this boo-ha happening with Jim Harbaugh in Michigan, there are several NFL teams out there who would love to have Jim Harbaugh as their head coach. Oh, fucking Raiders, give me goddamn Jim Harbaugh.
What, you don't think you can make it with McDaniels anymore? I thought McDaniels was doing wonderful.
You know, I love you, Matthew. I love you, Dev. But, while I'm scratching my brow, I seriously, I was at what was I at? I was at a lunch last Saturday with shall we say some fairly influential people in my life, and I made the comment that Josh McDaniels is a human hemorrhoid. And Dave is chiming in.
We got
hello there, Davey.
Good morning, Dave. I say good morning as it is almost 5 p.m. here.
And Dev, it's time for Dev's popsicle.
Yeah, I'm looking. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Actually, you got me on the nail.
Devin's about
for a
to
popsicle.
satisfy his cooling off with popsicle. But yeah, no, the Jaylen Brown contract, insane. But let's jump into the NFL one. Saquon Barkley got
paid.
Not really.
I wouldn't call it a bag. I wouldn't call it a good deal. Dude literally made I think $1 million more than the fucking franchise tag for one season.
He got a 1-year prove-it deal, more or less, which seems ridiculous.
It's one of the only running back contracts that we actually have seen what their incentives, what they want from him. 1,300 yards.
Jacobs, according to sources this afternoon, hopped a plane out of Vegas. He flew home.
So he doesn't, and this is during OTAs. They're doing training camps.
Josh Jacobs hopped a plane and flew the fuck out of Vegas. Saquon signed a 1-year deal. Josh Jacobs flew the fuck out of town.
And Dalvin Cook still has no contract.
And, you also with Dalvin Cook, there's still that criminal assault.
Wasn't that Alvin Kamara?
No, that's Dalvin Cook.
I thought it was Alvin Kamara.
No, both of them have that kind of shit going on.
Damn it.
Alvin Kamara settled out of court. Everything's been.
But let's say, but we're still pending NFL punishment for that.
Yes. Legally, Alvin Kamara is free and clear, but according to the Ginger Hammer, we shall see. It could be anywhere from 0 to 6 games.
If it's a Goodell ruling, it's probably he's wanting to get the 6 games. I think
it's anywhere from 0 to 6 games, but Dalvin Cook is still unresolved. Yeah, Alvin Kamara has legally. This story broke a couple days ago. He offered his ex-girlfriend $1 million to shut the fuck up.
He tried to vindicate his ex.
Yeah, he tried to parallel his paralegal. So Dalvin Cook is still swimming in the shit legally. Alvin Kamara is free and clear legally. He's just waiting for the Ginger Hammer to make his iron ruling. but Dalvin
teams
Cook
looking for a running back. I know there's another running back on the market. Ray Rice is still out there.
Shut up.
Well, let's also Buffalo Bills running back Nyheim Hines suffered a season-ending injury on a jet ski.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
Suffered a season-ending ACL injury because he got
someone that they put some draft capital into to get from the Colts last season.
He got ramrodded on a jet ski.
Didn't he also have an Achilles tear too?
No, that was the other guy, their other running back from last season.
So getting to Saquon Barkley, who I have to, I don't think he's all that great, but for the sake of argument in this particular period of time, yes, he did sign a 1-year, $11 million contract with the Giants, which includes an additional $2 million in incentives should he perform at such a level.
And it's not that bad of incentives either. 1,300 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 65 receptions. That's not that hard to ask from your fucking lead yards getter.
Which you know, the owner is going to be telling the OC, cut him out.
It's Brian Daboll. I don't know about that. Brian Daboll ain't gonna take shit like that.
Hey, the Mora family, they've got some pull. I want to see Saquon get paid. He's not.
I want to see running backs get treated the way they should. They are one of the more vital pieces to an offense. If you don't have a run game, your pass game is fucking shit.
Well, and also we're talking about Daniel Jones. I mean, let's be honest, people. We've seen Daniel Jones without Saquon Barkley and with Saquon Barkley, and we know what's going to happen. I mean, this is like.
I mean, hey, on the upside, at least with Danny Dimes, you can run that run-pass option with Saquon in it.
I can also run to the bathroom, take a shit, and produce, something of, more weight than what Danny Dimes can in the course of a season.
Now, Cap, I do have a question for you. Do you think a player like Michael Vick, now we're going to completely take everything he'd done personally, like just the player archetype, a player like that, how would that have fared in the modern NFL?
Who?
Michael
Fantastic. Vick. Fantastic.
Michael Vick? I think you
got a lot more run-pass option choices, and you didn't necessarily have to rely on his arm as much.
If Vick was in modern day, Vick is one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time, despite him as a person, just like you said, his player archetype and everything like that. He would make Lamar Jackson look like a bitch. No one would be talking about Lamar Jackson. They would only be talking about Patty Mahomes' cannon, but when it comes to the legs as a mobile quarterback,
it's still
Vick's your guy. It's Vick. Vick will always be the person that, like Cap always says, like you always say, the Ravens have a running back as a quarterback. If Michael Vick was in this, it'd just be a throwing running back because he has a hell of an arm.
Well, we have 3 teams in the NFL who do not have running backs. They have quarterbacks for running backs. The Buffalo Bills, the Chicago Bears, and the Philadelphia Eagles. And yet, throwing the Baltimore Ravens. Yeah, so 4.
I was about to say, Jalen Hurts can at least throw. His arm is accurate.
Eagles, Bills, Ravens, and Bears. But their quarterback is their running back. Let's not bullshit ourselves here.
You got a good point there. Miles Sanders.
I don't even know who the Bears running back is.
Neither do I.
I want to say it was James Conner last season.
Who?
The former running back for the Steelers.
Exactly.
He's now with Arizona.
Oh, no, I don't know if who was the Bears running back last season? Because I know
no one.
Fields almost broke the running record for a quarterback.
Yeah, he would. He almost beat Lamar's, right? Isn't that who holds it right now? Is Lamar?
I think so. I think Cap's looking up who the running back is.
I'm looking up something just because this was news today that we discussed. So apparently, a Broncos player was getting a little too heavy into DraftKings.
Bro,
oh no, Matt.
no,
indefinitely suspended.
Okay, so what? This brings the total. Calvin Ridley, the 5 players from the Lions,
And the Broncos.
I can't pronounce his last name. Uwazurike? Anyway, they need to at least they need to come out with what these players are gambling on.
Uwazurike.
They need to be coming out with what these players are gambling on, because if it's not NFL, they shouldn't be getting punished for this shit anymore.
No, it's NFL. That's why they would get suspended.
I know. It's with him. I know it's NFL games, but
for it to be an indefinite suspension tells you.
I mean, how bad were we playing last year? I was betting.
But we're not NFL players, Matt. Like we always say.
Exactly.
We don't play the sport that we bet on.
But Devin, easy money making off of your horrible fucking team.
Yeah.
He was and I don't even remember seeing Uwazurike get any field time last season. Like me and Cap were talking about.
I never remember hearing him.
Like me and Cap were talking about in the group chat the other day. The players that are getting hit with these suspensions are the ones that you don't hear their names very often. Like, imagine if Patrick Mahomes got busted for this. I guarantee you Roger Goodell's legalizing sports betting in the NFL.
100%.
Because it's Patrick Mahomes. Like, it's because it's these players that aren't making as much, that aren't getting the field time as much.
Boys, take a look at this.
Oh, no. DJ Hernandez. Cap, can you full screen this for us?
I heard something about that, but I wasn't able to actually get into depth.
Arrested amid alleged plans of a school shooting.
This is how
the older brother of late New England Patriots tight end Aaron Hernandez is behind bars with a woman close to him told police she was worried he was planning a school shooting. Dennis Hernandez, a former player at UConn, was shocked with a stun gun and arrested by police July 18th after he threatened to kill officers who had gone to his home in Bristol, Connecticut, then emerged from his house yelling, "Shoot me, shoot me," on the way to the hospital. Said he planned to kill anyone who had profited off his younger brother. Hernandez, 37, originally arrested in March after police say he threw a bag containing a brick and a note over a fence and onto ESPN's property in Bristol. Holy fuck.
A bag, a brick, and a note. Ain't that a fucking statement?
A bag and
a brick and a note. Isn't that a Longmont 3-course dinner?
No.
For fucking real. And an ass bean at 4 in the morning.
Was it a bag of bricks?
No, a singular brick, probably with a little sticky note in a fucking little Ziploc baggie.
What in the fuck kind of drug?
Hernandez also posted threats on social media toward one of those women, and other people said, police said, one of those read in part, "Will I kill?" Absolutely.
Dude. Put this man into an institution. Make sure he doesn't get out because he is not well.
Fuck me running.
That is dangerous. Holy fuck. We usually don't cover shit like that on this show, but holy fucking hell.
And in a follow-up to a story that we mentioned on our last show, we continued to keep following this whole Northwestern situation. Northwestern football players will not be at Big Ten Media Days. That is how shitty this has gotten. They are just like, fuck this. We ain't even attending.
Yeah, they're not wanting any media coming to the school at all or having any of the press ask questions.
This is probably, is this the biggest college football scandal since Penn State?
It has to be, dude. Like with what Devin was saying last time on our show, with what Flemlo was reporting on his video.
Yeah.
Like, the shit going on over there is on levels with Penn State and what Paterno and shit we're doing over there.
Yeah, I mean, this shit is blowing up. I mean, I remember living through this shit in 2011 when everything with Penn State and the what have you. This is the biggest college football scandal since then.
And it's so disgusting, too. Like, it's not just college football. It's the baseball organization as well.
It's the whole school.
It seems like it's the whole school athletics commission, which is fucking horrible. Like, if the athletics commission is this bad, I don't want to know what's going on behind classroom doors.
I mean, I'm not one of those complete prudes who has this, complete angelic idea of sports and locker rooms. I mean, for the love of God, I mean, the three of us hang out, in our hotel room for the Royal Rumble, and there's enough fucking, hazing and horse shit that goes on, but it's all in good fun. But apparently this is, sexual assault,
yeah,
abuse.
No, these are falling on like sexual crimes. Like,
yes,
the stories that are coming out of Northwestern as a college is absolutely horrific.
Yeah, this is not horseplay and
Yeah, this isn't stealing players' gear and making them go to games in cheerleader outfits like they used to in baseball.
Yeah, this is not you and I staying up until dawn drinking whiskey and just giving Dev shit for being a pussy. This
isn't even the Undertaker Maven. Like, you don't like taking Tylenol.
I have to clean something up. Devin ain't no pussy. Fuck you.
No, we ain't saying you're a pussy.
I know.
We didn't say shit about you.
I heard Devin was a pussy.
No. But yeah, no. This is like not even the lines of Maven and Undertaker, where it's like, oh, you don't like taking Tylenol, you're gonna drink whiskey with me, like.
Oh shit! Well, speaking of fantasy, we've got some breaking NFL news.
Oh no! Is it bad news?
Colts place running back Jonathan Taylor on actively physical, unable to perform list after reporting to training camp sidelined during team's practices.
You know who's not on the PUP list? Denver Broncos running back Jamal Williams.
Jonathan Taylor, who at my last check is roughly going top 5 running back in fantasy.
But what did we say? He's got to stay healthy.
Got to stay healthy. Although this does open up the window for Anthony Richardson to be the I Ching runner in Indianapolis, which a lot of people are sleeping on that kid, and it looks like he's going to be this year's Justin Fields.
It's with Indy, it's going to be one of those things that they're going to need.
The one Colts source indicated his stay on the PUP list should be brief. Quote, it shouldn't be long, which I believe in that about as far as I can throw it.
I think without Jonathan Taylor, we might see more, RPOs coming from Indy this year. We're going to be seeing a lot more. Is it going to be the running back or is it going to be the quarterback taking this run?
Well, let's make Matthew happy. Let's do something that's going to make Matthew happy. We've been shitting on Matthew all day.
Oh no, y'all can't bring my mood down. I got to see the Denver Broncos new alternate helmets. Those are fucking.
They are pretty sweet.
Those are those.
Yeah, they do.
They might be the best. They might be the best alternate helmets of the season.
Chiefs wide receiver
do you think you're gonna wear
Kadarius Toney has surgery on knee.
And Devin, to answer your question, we're only wearing those with our all.
I know, but how many times do you think you're gonna wear the old
season? At least 2 or 3.
2 or 3.
Dev, shut the fuck up. You guys lost Marcus Peters to my Raiders. Not that it's going to help us in any way because we're going to suck regardless. But
I mean, he didn't really help the Ravens either. So
he really didn't. I love Marcus Peters, but it was very much of a bust that we got him.
I'm still not changing my win-loss total on the Raiders. We're going to be fucking dog shit.
But this story, on the other hand, does bring a smile to my face. Yes. Kadarius Toney.
Let's make Maddie happy. Let's stop shitting on Maddie for once. Let's make Maddie happy.
Kadarius Toney might miss a decent portion of the season after this knee surgery because if we look at things, we're only about a month and 5 days away from the NFL season. I am so happy with this. Or no, like a month and 15 days, a month and a half away from the NFL season. Very happy.
49ers say quarterback Brock Purdy, elbow, who suffered a UCL injury, is cleared and ready to go, which means...
That means San Francisco is going to be running the Joe Flacco route of all dump-off passes because there's no way that arm has the chutzpah to get a fucking 40-yard bomb.
Chutzpah? He's going into Yiddish.
There's no way that...
The Puerto Rican Hispanic is going into Hebrew.
There's no way Brock Purdy's got the arm to get like 40-yard passes to Deebo Samuel immediately after Tommy John.
Wait, chutzpah is a Jewish phrase?
Yes. It means balls.
I did not know that.
Chutzpah in Hebrew means cojones, balls. Chutzpah.
Okay.
But yeah, no.
So if someone says you got some fucking chutzpah, that means you've got some fucking balls. So Dev,
you got chutzpah.
Dev has some fucking chutzpah.
But
I've seen Dev's balls. He's got some fucking chutzpah.
Now, Cat. UCL injury, Tommy John, famous for baseball injury.
Yes.
How bad does that affect players' velocity?
It depends on your It depends on your position. If you are a pitcher, you are looking at a minimum. If you are, it's a little bit different. If you are
we already talked about this. It's different torque to the elbow, different.
Yes, it's very different torque. If you're a major league pitcher and you tear your UCL and you have Tommy John, you're essentially looking at a year to 2 years before you are back to being what you were, and even at best, you're only going to be about 85, 80. It's rough. There's a great video on YouTube with Dr. James Andrews from Birmingham Medical Center, who's the top orthopedic surgeon in the country. But essentially, the recovery rate is 80 to 85% of being what you were. It varies, obviously, but on an average, you're looking at an 80 to 85% chance of being what you were, but it's going to take a year to 2 years to get back to that with proper rehabilitation and whatnot. There's a lot of factors that go into it.
Now, I did do a little bit of research just now, and I looked up the last quarterback to suffer Tommy John injury and surgery.
Wasn't it Alex Smith?
Yep.
No, you'll be surprised. Oh. It was Jake Delhomme in 2007.
Carolina Panthers.
It was a couple years after he had been to the Super Bowl, and famously, Jake Delhomme really fell off after his Tommy John surgery.
I thought it was Alex Smith.
He ended up playing.
No, Alex Smith broke his leg completely in half.
I know he got.
No, Alex Smith suffered a compound fracture of both the fibula and tibula and damn near died from infection.
I will look this up, though, Devin, just to be sure.
I thought he also got Tommy John before he
Alex
almost
Smith didn't
died.
have Tommy John. He suffered a compound fracture of the fibula and tibula.
Yeah, I know that. That's what almost killed him. That's why it made him the comeback player of the year when he came back.
No,
Ben Roethlisberger.
It was Ben.
It wasn't Tommy John surgery, but remember, this was whenever it came out that he was.
It was when he had the huge elbow.
Too much.
Yeah.
Holy shit! We got breaking news.
Another one. We haven't done this in a while.
No, legit fucking breaking news. Maddie, cue this shit up.
Busy day.
Oh,
busy
shit.
Day.
I just watched my favorite.
Chargers and quarterback Justin Herbert agree to 5-year, $262 million extension.
They finally did it, dude.
They gave him his bag.
Fuck you, Spanos.
Well, dude, if you did not pay Justin Herbert, that is the most vital fucking quarterback this NFL season if he would not have been.
But are the Chargers really going to do anything with him?
Hold on, Dev. So 5 years, $262 million contract extension. Herbert is 25 years old.
He's young.
Which that eclipses Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson. So now among that crew, Herbert is the highest
paid quarterback in the NFL.
Yep.
Next to Mahomes.
Yep.
Wow.
That just broke on ESPN about 10 minutes ago.
Well, so here's the thing. The reason why I think paying Herbert that much money makes sense is he is the next field general quarterback. Like, we don't have a good field general quarterback that's come out in the last few years. Like, we don't have a Rodgers or a Brady or a fucking Manning. Herbert seems like he might end up filling that role later on.
Burrow? What are your thoughts on Burrow?
I like Joe Burrow, but I think he's going to end up being a bust in a couple of years.
Shut your fucking mouth, Devlin.
That would be nuts. Should he?
He's going to get I think he's going to get a serious injury, and he's never going to be the same again.
He's already had a serious injury. He already tore his fucking ACL, you jabroni.
Rookie season. So
I'm talking more about like his arm injuries, like fucking destroyed shoulder.
Is that because he's in the same division as you? Are you just,
No, I love Joe Burrow, but I just have a feeling that he's just going to end up flopping in a couple years.
I don't think so, but field general, I think Burrow fits more into the strong arm category, like your Ben Roethlisbergers.
No, he does not have. He does not have Big Ben's arm.
He definitely doesn't have Ben's arm, but given time,
he's got better decision making.
Give it time, he might develop that fucking 80-yard bomb thrower.
Yeah, to Dave's point, to throw this up onto our screen, if they actually give him a fucking offensive line that can protect his ass.
I mean, that's what they tried last season, and the beginning of the year was not good for the Bengals. He got hit a lot early season.
We've got the NFL. Is this going to even let me? No, that's ESPN Plus. Fuck that shit. Yeah. So yeah, Herbert gets his extension. We now can label Dev as a Burrow hater.
I'm not a hater. I like Joe Burrow. I'd rather have Burrow than fucking Mahomes in like the Super Bowl. But I don't think
Burrow or Mahomes in your division is the question, asshole.
Neither. I want them both gone.
Because I have to live with Mahomes in my division until he fucking turns 50.
Yeah, I love how the fucking Kansas City Chiefs gave Patrick Mahomes a Kota Ibushi fucking contract. We're going to keep you until you die.
I just wish he would have left, like Kota Ibushi left fucking New Japan.
So Cap is going to relieve some ballast, but I do want to leave this little point before I do so. What if Dave, 92 times, yes, and Cincinnati needs to get some fucking offensive linemen.
That's why I think he's going to get really hurt with not being able to throw as well as he used to. I know the ACL was a big thing, but I think it's going to destroy – he's going to have an arm injury that's going to destroy him.
But what were you wanting to leave us off with while you go take a piss, Cap?
Now, before the capper leaves some ballast, I just wanted to throw this out there, just for sake of argument, for sake of, fuck you, for sake of, chitter chatter. Let's just assume that Patrick Mahomes, as evidence has shown, is the new Tom Brady. As we saw in the AFC title game, as the rules continue to change, whatever, is there eventually going to be a penalty that goes something like this? Personal foul, defense, number 99, attempting to tackle the ball carrier. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
I would not be the least bit surprised if in a few years we're going to get some weird flag football rulings.
I wouldn't doubt it. I'm a football player too, and I wouldn't doubt it.
How long until we start doing the college football ruling of 1 foot equals you're in? I always thought that was the dumbest ruling.
I'd probably give it the next 3-4 years.
I mean, they're already trying to kill the fucking kick return position.
Yeah, imagine if Devin Hester was in this era.
Dude, Jacoby Jones, Miles Austin,
all the greats.
Dave, I think you would be
PG-13 NFL football.
I think Dave would be able to appreciate this. It would be like if Vince McMahon took control of the NFL and started calling it sports entertainment instead of professional football.
If this all happens, I feel like the CFL will become the most watched sports.
Unfortunately, Devin, and it's been proven with EA Sports, it's not gonna die. It's just
what if CFL starts getting the media awareness that NFL gets?
Bro, college players are wanting to play for the NFL. They're not wanting to play for this. Nobody's going to the University of Alabama and coming out a Crimson Tide and going, I want to play for the fucking Sea Dragons of the XFL, dude.
That's because the NFL has monopolized football.
And David said I would stop watching that.
Watching that too.
God damn, pal. Fuck the Patrick shit. Just Mahomes.
No,
yeah.
Dude. Pat Holmes, that would be his name with Vince. If Vince took control of the NFL, it would be Pat Holmes. And
Touchdown Holmes.
Not
T. Holmes.
Not Travis Kelce. It'd be T. Kelce.
T. Kelce.
What's this Saquon shit? Call him Barkley. Yeah, it's stupendous, pal.
You want to know what name?
Fuck Lamar Jackson. We got Michael Jackson.
You know the one name Vince McMahon would keep if he ever got control of the NFL?
Austin Eckler?
DeBrickashaw Ferguson, because he couldn't even come up with a better name than that.
Ha ha, Clinton Dix. Imagine him saying that.
So I
Clinton Dix.
Nothing like a good big dick. Yeah.
Apparently, that was because that was
it's
a nickname he was
pal.
when he was a child. Was ha ha. Oh, we're jumping into baseball standings.
Well, we'll go into MLB news. Let's go to that.
I'm just glad at least the team I should have chose is doing better than the team I chose.
Before we do that, you do have one more thing of football to touch on.
Oh?
Your fantasy.
Well,
or you want to
we're
say
still
that later.
We're still looking for people.
No,
we'll do the reveal after MLB.
Okay.
Well, let's get to the MLB. So we've got
fucking Dave
Mahomes and the gridiron general Travis Kelce.
Big Patrick, yeah.
Big Patrick. I'm gonna just call him Big Pat all season.
You're gonna be saying that when we're in fucking. If it's Florida, you're gonna be saying Big Pat while you eat a well-done steak in our hotel smothered in ketchup.
That is going to be pretty awesome if that actually happens and the Chiefs get to the Super Bowl again and Matty just has to, on camera, dive into a well-done
during the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be. Well, it'll be on an episode, but it'll be a nice, just beautiful, marbled, perfect steak, but cooked to fucking char, covered in ketchup.
I found out what we need to do for it. We need to just full on do the ASMR episode. Like, you guys not there. It's just me, a plate, a fork, a knife, and the steak.
Covered in ketchup.
We've got some Rockies news.
So we got trash news?
I mean, yeah, it's Chris Bryant, so.
Isn't that the one that had the concussion? Isn't that the one that got that concussion or the brain or the skull fracture?
No, Chris Bryant was the one that we got from the Cubs that we paid way too much fucking money for. Oh. What the fuck is
Hey, Dev, you can breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief.
So what's a simulated game? Like, is he going into the hit?
A simulated game is essentially it's
a scrimmage.
A scrimmage, yeah. It's essentially batting practice with guys on base.
Oh, okay. I was about to be like, so is he just going out there during like the regular game BPs and then just hey?
No, it's like a pregame like BP, but with guys on base in actual game situations.
I'm just gonna say this was the biggest flop I felt like I could have done in our baseball fantasy is getting this motherfucker. But I spent so much money on him, and I've gotten like maybe 10 games with him.
You have to remember, though, he broke a record last year.
That's why I went for him. And guess what? He's always injured.
Never pay this year for what they did last year, jackass.
Well, we wouldn't have known what he did last year.
I didn't know what they did last year. I didn't even really know who he was.
What the fuck was that, Devin?
I don't know. I fucking stuttered saying that, I realized. I didn't really know who the fuck he was. I just thought he was a good player for the Yankees. And I was like, yeah, the Yankees always kick the fuck out of the Red Sox, the Red Sox vice versa. Why not?
They always kick the fuck out of the Yankees because right now we're above them.
That's why I said vice versa.
So
that's why I said we either get the ass kicking or we kick the ass.
Let's look at the standings before we get into our fantasy football diatribe. The Orioles, per my prediction, are up on the Rays by 2.5 games.
Is that 62-38?
I'm just glad one of my teams are doing good.
Is that 62-38 for the Orioles?
Yep.
They are fucking smashing right now.
Yeah.
You got the Blue Jays 6.5 back, and then the Red Sox and Yankees are both tied at 9 back. The Red Sox and Yankees are in the cellar. The Orioles are on top, exactly as Cap predicted.
Well, look at the run differential from the Rays still. Like, it's still so high.
That was from that hot start, though.
Like, I mean, if it's literally from that hot start still, that is insane that it's still keeping up this far past All-Star break.
In American League Central, we've got the Twins leading the division, Guardians 4 back, Tigers 7 back. They're creeping up. They were 12.5 back at the All-Star break. Tigers are creeping up. I said something is going on in Detroit. Of course, my White Sox fucking suck, and then you have the Royals.
I mean, it's just, looking at that division, it's just like a wet fart. There's one team above 500, and the rest are so far dragging.
A wet fart or a shart? There's a difference.
Not quite a shart.
You can spray moisture, but are we talking like a full-on just...
It's not a shart. Like, you're not trying to run to the restroom just yet. Like, it's one of those, almost shit myself.
Oh, turtle head poking out.
We at least have the Twins above 500. If there was, like, if there was no teams above 500, yes, that division is a shart because you shit your pants and then you're trying to hobble.
That whole division is a shart, trust me.
At this point, with how the Cardinals are playing, I'm more focused on hoping the A's, the Athletics, are going to be the worst team.
We've got the Rangers 2 games up on the Stros. Angels are 7.5 back, Mariners 8.5, and the Athletics 31.5 games back.
-2.
259 is their run differential.
Let's look at historical percentages here. So 162. I hope you guys can see this. I'm doing my calculator here. 162 times 0.275. Let's call it 45. 162 minus 45. The Athletics are on pace to finish the season 45 and 117.
Still the worst team ever?
Still the worst team ever.
Now, that's what I'm hoping, that there's some history in this for us.
Dude, it's the run differential, though. Like, Cap, go back just for a second. It's the run differential for me. How do you, like, how do your bats not perform at all? Like, I understand bad pitching. I understand bad pitching can lead to that.
They are one of
to fucking do something.
Yeah, they have the
worst affiliate in the MLB.
Yes, this is the worst team in the history of baseball.
Like, so let's go. Rockies worst. I've never seen them this bad.
So let's go to the National League East. We've got the Braves with a commanding lead, 11.5 over the Marlins. Phillies are 12. Mets are Metting. As Dave said, Nationals are just dog shit.
Also, big shout out to 5 Points Vids. If you guys haven't had a chance, check out the newest Momentum video where he creates catcher's gear homemade out of $500.
That'd be cool. Coming from me being a catcher.
Let's get to Dev's division.
We're out of the cellar.
We've got the Brewers leading the division. The Reds are only a game and a half back. It's still competitive.
God, the Pirates.
Cubs are 7. I mean,
we just have one more game when
this division is turning into something interesting because.
Well, at the beginning of the season, when we were joking about Tree holding it above the division, hey, the Pirates are doing well. Like, the Reds were at the bottom at that point in time.
Yeah, it's flipped.
It's completely flip-flopped. I mean, unfortunately, Devin's team that he's pulling for this year, the Cardinals,
they should have won with the Orioles.
They haven't really switched anything around, but, like, I think the biggest story of this year is the Pirates and the Reds.
The Reds, I know we had Buck Ringgold on
2-3 weeks ago?
Yeah, for the All-Star game.
Yeah, it was the All-Star game.
So long ago already.
He's, the biggest Reds fan I know, and this is just crazy how the Reds are a game and a half out. And honestly, I would not be surprised to see the Reds take this division at this point because the Brewers can't fucking hit. The Brewers can pitch, but they can't hit.
But they don't have the, run support.
I mean, the run differential is essentially the same.
But it's also different for the Reds because, like, they've got the pop to their bats that the Brewers don't. But they don't necessarily have, like, that ace on the mound.
This is going to be a very interesting division. Scrolling down to the NL West.
Hi, Rockies.
Dodgers are now 4 games up on the Diamondbacks and the Giants, who have jumped into a tie for second place. Padres are 10 games out, and then the Rockies are just kind of there.
They're not as bad as we thought they were going to be, though. Now,
I will say that. Let's look at the wild card now. We're getting close. We're getting, second half of the season. Let's take a look at the wild card here. So this is the American League wild card standings.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're in such poor company, Cap.
It's all right.
I mean, at least you're above the Royals and the Athletics. That's all I can say.
Boston and Yanks are tied for 4th out of the wild card, though. And look at the Blue Jays.
So we live in an era now where there are 4 wild card teams that get in, correct?
2.
Okay, so it is still 2? Okay, I thought they added another 2 teams.
No, that was the COVID year. Still, you get the top 2. So right now it'd be Tampa Bay and Houston, but Boston is only 2.5 out of the wild card. So they're tied with the Yanks, but I mean, it's not a foregone conclusion that the Red Sox cannot make the wild card.
I mean, the Red Sox just need to win games that the Blue Jays lose, and we need the Yankees to stay stagnant. That's what we need to get into the wild card. Now, the last time we got into the playoffs through the wild card, we fucking won everything.
Boston could make the wild card if they do shit right. How far they will go, we don't know, but Boston still is only 2.5 games back of a wild card spot.
I still don't know what we're going to do at the deadline. Like, I'm still hearing rumors that they might try to trade the fucking entire farm system.
Well, the trade deadline is next Monday.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm still hearing that they were trying to get rid of the entire farm system just to get Ohtani. But I'm still thinking that the Dodgers are the best spot for Ohtani to land. So I don't know what the fuck the Red Sox are going to do at the deadline date. Are we going to get rid of Trevor Story? Are we going to get rid of we can't get rid of Devers. That's our only fucking player that we got, that we put money and invested into. We're not going to get rid of Yoshi. So what do we have to get rid of?
Thank you, Dave. I'm glad that you just wanted to single me out there.
And the Jays will fuck up. You really think the Jays are going to fuck up that bad, Davey?
Jays are going to fuck up. Jays are going to fuck up.
But
the fact that you're throwing my White Sox in there, Dave, damn it. I'm your friend. I'm one of the few guys on Twitter who doesn't give you shit.
Bro, Davey's been hitting it more and more on Twitter.
I'm just glad Davey's not coming after me.
Davey, for the love of God, I don't criticize you on Twitter all that much, if ever. I give you constant credit, and you just still want to throw my White Sox into the furnace. I mean,
to be fair, you still haven't come around to Kenny Omega.
And I never will.
Hey, dude, I am praying for the day that Omega does something right in your eyes.
I'm not saying that day won't come, but Jesus Christ, Hebrew Almighty.
I will say, I know for a fact you're not going to enjoy it, so don't watch Blood and Guts. But I will say.
Oh, he took the dive on the bed of nails. Whoopty fucking.
Oh, no, I was talking about the match as a whole. I fucking loved it, but you probably wouldn't have enjoyed it.
Because you love just hard.
I love crazy chaos, and that's exactly what that match
was. You do. And you and I, whenever we've hung out, at my place, we've watched a bunch of Terry Funk, a bunch of, and I get that. We're both, brothers.
There is a match AEW's put out recently that you should watch. Go watch the tag team match between FTR, Jay White, and Robinson. Which one? Because they've done 2 at this point.
No, it was the most recent one between FTR and the Bullet Club. The 2 out of 3 falls. Yes, okay. that was fucking phenomenal.
That was the one I was wanting you to watch. That one is fucking.
That was. I honestly could not have scripted a better tag team match apart from the ones they did with the Briscoes.
Yeah,
FTR is. I mean, they are the Tully and Arn, the Midnight Express.
What's crazy?
They are the
White and Juice Robinson. They were rivals in New Japan. It's so weird to see them have such good chemistry as a team.
It works so well, though. The Black and Gold Bullet Club, and with the Guns joining them.
I don't know how I feel about the Guns joining them.
That one is a little weird. I think that's just more like,
but the Bullet,
fuck you, Dad. It's not a phase.
But the Bullet Club, kind of needs their guns. So I guess.
Yeah, I get it, but it's also because they really.
So right now, the wild card standings in the National League are kind of weird. The Reds would be first in. Marlins would be second, but they are tied with both the Diamondbacks and the Giants. So this is the National League wild card is kind of weird. And also the Phillies are a half game out there. And then you've got Cubs, Padres, all that. But this is a very interesting wild card. Can I highlight this appropriately?
Now, is it just me, or are the Diamondbacks perpetually wild card contenders? They're perpetually in the wild card.
Have they ever won?
No, not perpetually. It's just the fact that this year, for some reason, they are doing something right.
Now, Devin, I think you asked if they've won a World Series. Yes, they won it with Randy Johnson, if I'm not mistaken.
And Kurt Schilling.
I forgot he was on that team.
Yeah.
What year was that?
90.
That was that was 2000. That was before Schilling went to the Red Sox, so that would have been 2003.
Fucking really? Okay.
Are you leaving again?
Gun Club is basically trading in the good we now collect a
Where are you going?
Dust Brothers for a newer, better model. Okay.
At this point, I'm just kind of cheering for the Reds to make it because
it'd be nuts.
The Reds have been combination
so fucking shit for so long.
They have been dog shit and snake bit combination
along the line.
Now, Dave's prediction could. I cannot believe I'm saying this again. Dave, you're not wrong. The Diamondbacks could get into that wild card, but at this point, I'm kind of cheering for the Reds just to see the Reds back in the playoffs.
When was the last time the Reds were genuine in the playoffs? Was it Bronson Arroyo as pitcher?
I don't like the Reds for their logo, so they can go fuck themselves.
It's just a C.
I know, they're legit just a different fucking type of C from the Cubs.
I mean, they're the exact same C as the fucking Chicago Bears. And to be fair...
Yeah, more or less.
To be fair...
I'm hating these boring-ass fucking...
To be fair... Share the exact same logo.
I'm hating how lazy... We are in 2023. There are so many artistic people in the world to make so many better things and different names. But no, we got a C for the Cincinnati Reds, and we got jack shit for the Washington Commanders.
I mean, we still don't know if they're going to be the Commanders this season, so that trademark got denied.
All right, so we got about an hour to go. I'm going to grab some more beverage, and then it will be Cap's reveal of the top 16 wide receivers for fantasy this year.
You better have Jerry Jeudy on that list, motherfucker. If you don't have Jerry Jeudy on that list,
he's not
we
wrong.
shall do the reveal. Oh, and here's Maggums.
Oh, Miss Maggums.
Miss Maggums. I had both my favorites on the show, and now the RAWBall puppy.
The RAWBall puppy.
RAWBall puppy.
The mascot, Miss Maggums.
All 100 pounds of behemoth. Get the fuck down, you goddamn. Oh. All right. I'm going to grab some beer. We will be right back with the captain's wide receiver reveals for 2023. Sounds good.
You excited for the fantasy football map?
Oh, dude, I'm just excited for the football season.
I'm surprised I'm doing so well for baseball.
Yeah, I don't think when Cap gets back, before we jump into the fantasy for football, we got to talk fantasy for baseball.
Last I checked, I was in either second or third place.
Dude, I really hope you win this, because how funny would it be if you just had hold of that fucking slugger?
It'd be fucking hilarious, bro. That shit, me tearing that fucking Louisville Slugger with me to fucking Colorado Springs.
Yep, Sunday, September 10th is NFL kickoff. Meaning in like 2 weeks, it's the start of the fucking preseason.
Yeah. No one's going to really give a fuck about it.
No, nobody's going to give a shit about preseason. Nobody ever gives a shit about preseason. But I don't know. Like with your team, Devin, I'm just interested.
I'm interested in see how Odell does, because I saw saying this might be Odell's last year, and he's putting it all out this year.
Lamar just got paid. I really am worried that this might be his one bad season on the contract.
Fucking last year was his bad season. What you mean? He barely played for us. We had Tyler Huntley, and for some reason, he made it to the Pro Bowl.
If last year was his bad season and he was playing for a contract, then you guys really are fucked.
All right. Are we ready?
As long as Jerry Jeudy is in the top 3, I am ready.
All right. So
Matt, he's not that good. Quit sucking his dick.
All right, so let's go ahead and unveil the bottom two here.
I keep jumping on my shoes as I'm walking.
And I can tell you for a fact if I'm going to have these guys on my team or not.
Okay, Cap. I like the full blackout compared to how you had it last time.
No, I did the same way for running backs.
I thought it was a clear color, but
it was the
no, I did it clear for quarterbacks, but I decided to do a little drama for this. So I've got T. Higgins and Garrett Wilson.
I will say this before you get into it, since he is the bottom of it. Garrett Wilson will probably be on my team for a decent amount of money, should I be able to gather him. Garrett Wilson is one of those receivers I'm expecting a lot out of this year.
He's got A-Rod throwing to him. I like Garrett.
He won Offensive Rookie of the Year last year.
And he missed most of the season.
Exactly.
So let's not forget that.
Do you guys think T. Higgins is going to do anything this year?
He's the guy next to Jamar. I mean...
And you never want to oversaturate your number one receiver.
You want your number two to do something along with your number one.
Because, yeah, you had Randy Moss, but you also had Chris Carter. You had Deion Branch. You had people around Randy Moss. Yeah, you had fucking Larry Fitzgerald, but you also had Santonio Holmes. You had other people around him like Antoine Bolden. You're not going to want to oversaturate your number one. So I think T. Higgins, like Davey said, he's going to have over 1,000 this year.
I know
Now, let me preface this. This is where I have them right now.
Yeah, I know, but I meant.
This is where I'm saying where I have them right now and where I think they are going to finish.
Before we continue with this, Cap, do you think we're gonna get any wide receivers or running backs or anything that we've already covered coming out of retirement, like Des Bryant, AJ Green, or any of those pulling for one more year?
Not out of retirement, no.
I was about to say you said AJ Green. I think AJ Green is still a free agent.
He's pulling like a TO, being on the free agency for years, but no one's picking him up. I don't know why. I've been watching him on TikTok, on them different social medias like Facebook, Instagram, whatever, Twitter. I follow him on Twitter too. And he is putting in a lot of work at different college campuses, working out with the colleges, wide receivers. But no one wants him.
Nobody's going.
Dev, I follow a lot of things. I follow a lot of things on Twitter, but I also follow my left hand across my dick. So
fair enough.
I don't. With someone like AJ Green, the NFL isn't looking for an over 35. 6'2" over wide receiver,
but he still has it.
He does, but Devin, he's going to get hurt very early into the season. He's not going to be more than your number 4 or your slot receiver, unfortunately.
Your slut receiver, not slot. Slut. That's a term in fantasy football. Your slut receiver.
Is that the one that gets all your points, like your Travis Kelce last season?
Your slut receiver. Your slut receiver is your flex receiver. If you play him, that's your slut. Your slut receiver. He's there just to get first downs. He doesn't do more than just catch some pass. He's your slut. All right.
Now, David, do you think this because of Rodgers?
I'm not that's me. Just breathe.
I forgot Tim Tebow played a little bit of tight end at the end of his career.
Yeah, T. Higgins is going to have a damn good year. I've got him projected over 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. He had a 21% share of targets in Cincinnati last year.
And that was with
PFF has Joe Burrow. PFF has Joe Burrow ranked as the 3rd best quarterback, the 8th best overall offense, and the 4th easiest strength of schedule. Let's not forget that. 4th easiest strength of schedule.
That's crazy. The Bengals have that easy of a schedule, or at least
No. This is based on fantasypros.com. Fantasy strength of schedule. Mm-hmm. So they're saying T. Higgins has the 4th easiest strength of schedule.
So do you think with how you have yours rated, without even us seeing past the first 2, with that easier schedule, do you see him getting bumped up into the higher echelon of your rankings as the season progresses? Or do you think he is going to be a hard stuck 15?
It's going to take an injury to Jamar Chase and or just an absolutely phenomenal breakout performance, like something that we haven't seen from him. That we're
what
talking
year is he in?
Like a 2018 Juju Smith-Schuster, like where Juju was the second to AB, but Juju outpaced him in yards and targets and catches.
Didn't Martavis Bryant do that to him as well?
Smoke weed every day.
Dude, I'm still so upset about that. The fact that they kicked him out because
that's how I know I would never be able to go in the NFL.
Well, hold on. Linval Joseph knows his way around, or not Linval Joseph. Oh my God. Offensive lineman, gas mask.
Gas mask? I mean, like when Dev takes a shit in our hotel room, and we just have to.
It was the draft.
You just got to deal with it.
It was the draft prospect that, like, on the day that he got drafted, posted a picture of him hitting a gas mask bomb. I forget what his name is. Oh my God!
Doesn't ring a bell.
Give me a second. You guys continue. Cap, unveil the next 3.
All right, so 12 through 14.
Okay.
Number 14, Amari Cooper, Cleveland Browns, Devonta Smith, Philadelphia Eagles, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Detroit Lions.
Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to be one of those ones that are going to be higher on the list as the season goes.
Now, strength of schedule doesn't like these guys, but the offensive rank for Amon-Ra and Devontae really likes these guys. And Devontae has got Jalen Hurts. The target share is basically even. Touchdowns are even. Yards, more or less even. These guys they're there. I could see of all these guys in the bottom 5 here, the most likely I could see taking that leap is Amon-Ra, because he is just he's a beast.
He is a monster. Apparently,
he's a monster, but again, he has Jared Goff as his quarterback.
I mean, hey, that was my comeback player of the year last year. I still think he got snubbed, but with Amon-Ra St. Brown, that's a guy that literally wrote down the name of every wide receiver that got drafted before he did. Those are the types of players you need to be worried about, because they're going to be keeping an eye on other players throughout the year and going, cool, I need to make sure I get at least 15 receptions this game and 150 yards just to get better than that guy.
I mean,
that's like Myles Garrett as the Grim Reaper, having every quarterback on the back of his Grim Reaper cloak that he stacked, and then also, like you said, with how Amon had the quarterback or the wide receivers that got drafted before him. He did the same thing with the defensive players that got drafted before him, and none of them have a lineage of quarterbacks like Myles Garrett has.
I mean,
multiple sacks.
Myles Garrett, didn't he tie Strahan for the sack record?
I think his rookie year.
I think it was TJ Watt.
Oh, no, it was TJ. It was TJ. Miles did get close. I think he got like 20 or something.
If I'm looking at these 5 guys, I'm looking at T. Higgins and Amon-Ra as guys I would be looking at.
I would add Garrett Wilson to that list as well, but that's just because I have a lot of faith that Aaron Rodgers is going to favor his young wide receiver.
I would have Amari Cooper over Garrett just because I know he's been in the game longer, but he's always been a reliable wide receiver.
Now, here's actually something I want.
True, but Amari Cooper is also he's on the wrong end of. No, he's only on the wrong end of 25. He's 30.
That's what I was going. That's what I was.
He turns 31 this year.
I wanted to know what your thought process was having Amari Cooper even in your top 16. Like, is he?
If he succeeds at this level, it's going to be because of Deshaun Watson targeting the best wide receiver he has. But Amari Cooper is, trust me, Raiders.
I thought it was going to be a little bit of Raiders bias, but I just Amari Cooper hasn't shown me anything in the last 2 or 3 seasons to even in his time in Dallas to prove that he's even a top 20 wide receiver.
Amari is a solid, reliable target, but he's not a number one.
There's no such thing as Cap having White Sox or Raiders bias. He loves his team, but hates every person that plays for them.
Yes.
There's no such thing as Cap having any bias.
Yes. Dev nailed it. I love my teams. I hate everybody who plays for them.
Even when fucking Dylan Cease had an amazing game, Cap's
fuck him. Fuck him. He's not doing good enough.
Fuck him. Look at his season numbers.
Trade him.
Okay.
Look at his season numbers.
Okay, DK Metcalf in the top 10 makes total sense.
I think he'd be higher. Same with Mike Evans. I would totally put them in 6 or 7 at least.
Quarterback is Geno Smith, Devin.
Yes.
Geno Smith did better than Russell Wilson. Shut the fuck up.
You can suck my left testicle, Devin.
All of these guys wrote the numbers. He didn't write that. The numbers are pretty damn well close, but I'm looking at this right here. In terms of fantasy football, strength of schedule favors Mike Evans here. And it's not that I love Baker Mayfield. I think Baker Mayfield is a piece of shit, but Evans is the best wide receiver that team has. And as if we've seen anything over Baker Mayfield's career, it is that Baker Mayfield will throw the ball to the number one guy. So that's why I think Mike Evans, given his pedigree, he's been arguably the most consistent wide receiver in fantasy for the last decade. I mean, he has put up 10 straight years of 1,000 yards receiving.
And dude, it helps with him being 6'5", ridiculously long, and one of the more agile wide receivers in the league. You don't get that height and power and speed in a lot of people, except for the person slightly above him in DK Metcalf.
I see this year being Mike Evans's last prime year. After Metcalf. This, he's done.
I love DK Metcalf. My only problem with DK is I look at his numbers year over year, and while he has a higher target share, you look at that 26% to 20%. You look at these other guys, pretty good target share. DK seems so touchdown dependent, and touchdowns are fluky year to year. So that's why I've got DK ahead of Mike simply because I think DK is going to catch more touchdowns.
Oh, easy. DK is the thing with DK Metcalf and Mike Evans is those are maybe two of the most reliable red zone wide receivers in the league. Within 20 yards of the end zone, those are two of your more reliable wide receivers to get that lob fade in the end of the end zone.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm not. I've got DK in my top 10. I'm not shitting on him. I think he's great, but I think he's very touchdown dependent.
But would you draft anyone from 10 or below, Cap?
It depends on where I am. So here is 7
AJ
through.
Brown is a good one up there.
I feel like he should be higher, just because I know you're doing it all based on stats and everything, and I'm not going to shit on it or anything because you're way smarter than I am when it comes to statistics. When I look at you doing these, I think of big brain words. But I feel like AJ Brown has definitely improved from the last couple of years.
AJ Brown has improved, and
that comes with a better quarterback.
That's why I've got
Matt,
AJ
stop
Brown
talking about quarterbacks when you have Russell Wilson.
And I have him basically, I think Deebo Samuel is going to – he's I love Debo in that Shanahan offense. If he was on a different team, he probably wouldn't even be on this list. But Debo.
Did you see the interview with Shanahan yesterday when they were talking about Debo and how Debo has been sending Shanahan every day multiple shirtless pictures of him being ripped, and Shanahan's like, I have never had this many shirtless pictures of a man before in my life, but damn, does he look good? Like Debo Samuel is like showing out.
Look at this. This is what I'm looking at. Look at the rank of the offense. Third, this is based on
Pro Football
how they finished last year. The Eagles had the third-ranked offense. The Dolphins had the sixth-ranked, and the 49ers had the fifth-ranked offense. So that's what I'm looking at ultimately here. And I'm looking at quarterback rankings as well. Third-ranked offense, seventh-best quarterback. Sixth-ranked offense, 11th best quarterback. Fifth-ranked offense, 23rd best quarterback. That's why AJ is up there.
I understand.
I thought I just broke my neck.
I understand AJ Brown 1,000,000%. The only one that confuses me when it comes to the offensive statistic
is Waddle.
Waddle. How are the Dolphins the sixth best offense according to these?
I don't know. The
Dolphins last year. This is based off of last. I'm looking at this is last year. The Dolphins were sixth in offensive yards gained in the NFL last year.
Okay, so we can take out of consideration that one game where Tua threw for over 500 yards.
Okay.
To Tyreek.
Tua was also, according to PFF, the 11th best quarterback last year.
He was concussed 4 times.
Waddle
He's the Corey Graves of the NFL.
Of all the wide receivers for the Dolphins last year, Waddle had a 25% target share. Of every single pass thrown, a fourth of them were directed towards Waddle.
And it's because Waddle's got hands. But I'm not complaining about Waddle. Like, his performance last year speaks for itself. It's just the Dolphins' offense as a whole. Their offense as a whole. It doesn't translate to sixth best offense to me, just because they've got the best that sixth best yardage.
I'm going off numbers here.
Oh, I know.
They were the sixth best offense last year in the NFL, according to yards gained.
Okay, it just like mentally still just doesn't fit for me. Like, they got Tyreek and they got Waddle. I'm trying to remember who else they had that Tua was getting the ball off to.
I have a question for you two, and it's about wide receivers. We had a conversation in our chats. It was like 2 days ago, and I forgot who you guys said that recently retired. There was a wide receiver. What was his name? Was it Deshaun Jackson?
Deshaun Jackson, yeah.
Does Julio Jones still play?
Yes, he does. I'm pretty sure he's actually with the Titans, so he's going to be DeAndre's number 2. He's either with the Titans or the Colts, last I checked.
Okay, so before we get in, I'll go ahead before we get into the top 5. I'll toss this one in there. So, any disagreements? Before we get into the top 5.
You're not getting a disagreement from Cooper Kupp with me. That dude's gonna put up numbers this year.
I feel like he should be higher, but I know everyone's with his stats. He wasn't doing the best last year.
The only reason Cooper is down to number 6 is injury concern. Because
understandable.
Well, that and the fact that the Rams offense had nothing last year.
They had 1 year of superstar talent, and that's why they won the Super Bowl. Other than that, that's it. They're done for. That entire team, I don't care about anymore. They got the redemption team. Got their Super Bowl, and that's all I care about.
I have never seen an NFL team blatantly go, fuck them.
And you see right here the points. Look at everyone below here. Like, the only reason
it's astronomical, dude.
I call this into question is potential injury concerns, not to mention the fact that
32nd ranked offense.
Last year, 18th toughest strength of schedule.
Now, what does the J stand for?
The J is a percentage that they are targeted.
Oh, I'm fucking stupid. I just realized everything. I'm looking at the shit on top, and I'm confused, and everything's on the fucking bottom. God damn, I'm
It's a
stupid.
spreadsheet. I learned it last time.
Yeah. But something also to keep in mind, A.J. Brown received almost a third of all Eagles targets last year. Look at that.
Also have to remember that is like the person that the Eagles threw one of their first round picks to trade for last season.
Damn near
and then
30 damn near 30% of the target share.
And that's the second highest on this list.
That's the highest on this list, and above that, that's the highest target share thus far.
What's in the quotations then? Is that just their percentage for their team, like the 2, the 12, the 2, the 10, the 12, the 6, 16? No, for target share. What we're looking at right now.
You said the wrong thing. You said quotations. It's parentheses.
Oh, did I say quotations? Son of a bitch! I meant to say parentheses.
Yeah, but I'm assuming that.
Yeah, A.J. Brown ranked last year second in terms of target share among all NFL wide receivers.
Oh, okay.
That's what that
number means. Thank you, Matt, for understanding what I was saying.
There was only one wide receiver who got thrown to more than A.J. Brown last year. So that's why I have A.J. Brown that high, because if that plus another year of Hurts developing, I mean, these numbers, you could easily see A.J. Brown taking an uptick into this blacked out territory. Possibly. But that's where I have him conservative. These are all conservatively ranked. This is more like floor. I'm not looking at ceiling. I'm looking at their floor, like where I think these guys are going to finish.
With how you have everything ranking, Cap, do you think we're going to have a repeat of last year with the playoffs and the Super Bowl with being the same teams? Or do you think it's going to be like altered slightly with one team changing it up?
Every year after the Super Bowl, one team comes out looking good. Another team comes out looking like donkeys. And if I had to wager a bet, I would say it's going to be the Eagles who wind up looking like donkeys more than the Chiefs, simply because
Patrick Mahomes don't rust.
Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, even though I think Travis Kelce is due for a big-ass injury, it's not going to matter because they've got Mahomes, the way they rotate their running backs. They're just – Kansas City have become the new New England Patriots.
Now, Devin, I was watching a video earlier today, and to your earlier point, I think only twice in NFL history have we ever had a repeat of the previous year's Super Bowl, and both of them involved the Cowboys
and the Steelers.
Do you think we're going to start getting out the Chiefs?
No. The Packers won the first 2 Super Bowls.
No, I'm talking about like the exact same team being in different Super Bowls. I think it only happened twice, and it was early on in the NFL.
Well, we're not going to be able to get the exact same teams because some players from the Eagles and the Chiefs have already left.
Time. So the Packers repeated Super Bowl 1 and 2. The Steelers repeated. The Cowboys repeated.
I wasn't talking about like
the Broncos repeated. There's 4 teams.
I wasn't talking about repeating wins. I mean like the 2 teams in the Super Bowl in the next year's Super Bowl. I think. Okay. Before, and it was like 20 years.
Like
that's only happened twice. That was Dallas and Pittsburgh, and Dallas and Buffalo.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that was in Buffalo's. Let's try to make the Super Bowl 4 years in a row and never win.
But do you think we're going to get that this year with it being Philly Chiefs
Number
again?
5, Jamar Chase.
Okay.
Makes sense. Burrow's number 1 target.
Love the targets, the receptions, the yards, the touchdowns.
Getting tied for second in touchdowns.
25% of Burrow's targets. He's got the 3rd best quarterback according to PFF. The strength of schedule looks good. The offense, Jamar Chase is an easy top 5 for me.
Easy. I think that's probably one of the easiest on this list for you.
Although in most current drafts, Jamar Chase is going in not only the first round, but in some cases, first overall.
I wouldn't doubt it.
No way.
Yes.
No, I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it.
In
First round pick.
No. In auction drafts, as what we're going to be doing right now, Jamar Chase is going number 1 overall in auction drafts right now.
Really? Wide receiver is going number 1 overall in an auction draft over Patrick fucking Mahomes.
In auction drafts right now, Jamar Chase is going number 1 overall.
That is baffling. But okay.
Like Cap tried to teach us when we first started the baseball one, don't always put up the person you want. Maybe a lot of people, but if you put up someone that everyone wants, it makes sense going up as a first overall pick. Same with, like you were saying, with Pat. Those are people, it doesn't matter who your team is, who you favor.
Someone's going to be putting their money in the auction towards that person.
I've got a tie at 3rd place.
I'm actually very happy to see at least one Raider in the top 5.
Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill, I have tied for 3rd place.
Number 1 in total points. Number 1 in targets.
Devontae Adams.
3rd in receptions. Yeah,
Adams,
he should have been.
Point. And these are projections, but look how close all of these numbers are.
Like the only thing that would worry you this season if you have Devontae Adams on
it's receptions.
Is Jimmy G gonna be fucking throwing it to him?
This is the number I'm looking at, though, that would make me take Tyreek over Devontae. Look at the target share on the Dolphins. And 32% of Tua's throws went to Tyreek last year.
With Tua.
That's because how Tua has the thought that he's trying to be Patrick Mahomes. They got Patrick's best wide receiver. He's the fastest.
And look at Garoppolo, 24th.
But what
Garoppolo's ranked 24th. Raiders 12th.
What I need both of you guys
to 11th, right now, and Dolphins 6th best offense last year, again according to PFF.
Well, I want you
32%. Tyreek Hill could be the best wide receiver this year.
What I won't doubt it. This is what I was wanting to point out for Tua and the offense of the Dolphins. That is 32% to Tyreek, and that is 25%. Yeah, 25% to Jalen. That means that is 57% of your passes are going to 2 people.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's because that's all they have, Matt. They don't have a tight end. They don't have any other wides.
Getting these yards
is with the concussion protocol. Tua and his 2 fast-ass wide receivers in Cheetah and Waddle.
Where were the Dolphins getting their yards aside from Tyreek and Jalen, Devin? That's not
probably their fucking cornerbacks, their defense, because fucking Tua's always injured.
Those yards don't count towards offense.
I don't fucking know. Running back? Who's their running back?
Their running back wasn't that effective. Their tight end was Mike fucking Gesicki.
Yeah, fuck Mike.
The reason I have Devontae where he is because he's Devontae. But
I don't blame you.
Look at the touchdown differential.
He's won in almost every category that we have set up.
Devontae Adams is a 1 of 1 when it comes to wide receivers.
Devontae is going to be very touchdown dependent with Jimmy Garoppolo. And if I'm drafting today, I'm taking Tyreek over Devontae because I'm looking at all of these numbers and I'm saying Devontae ain't getting 13 touchdowns. That's the projection.
Yeah.
Devontae ain't getting 13 touchdowns with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Now, here.
I can see me dropping Aaron Jones type of money on Tyreek Hill.
Davey pointed out, Devontae will be lucky to crack 1,000 yards playing with the Raiders with a game manager at quarterback.
Agreed.
Now, Kat, you've been very adamant about saying Garoppolo is a game manager quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
and I don't think he's wrong for saying that, Matt.
But Devontae has been a proven down the middle threat.
Doesn't matter.
Devontae
does not matter
with his legs.
No one is going to take attention away from Devontae. They lost the Walrus.
And it's looking like you guys are losing Josh Jacobs, too.
Yeah, he don't want to play.
every single defense that the Raiders play are going to be concentrating. They're going to be doubling up, and I'm not shitting on Devontae. Devontae is arguably the best route running receiver in the NFL. But the problem is his quarterback is James Garoppolo.
Do you think we're going to see with us talking about Josh Jacobs? Do you think we're going to be seeing in a couple years an era without running backs and extra wide receivers getting more play instead of a running back actually getting?
It all depends. Are we going to see the kicker and punter position completely phased out?
I think that's we're already on the road to phase out that. So that's already phased out in this scenario. And we're about to phase out running backs. Do you think we're going to be living in an era where running backs are no longer a position and it's just replaced with like a tight end or another wide receiver?
It's going to be a similar hybrid position. It's going
to be the Deebo Samuel position.
Yes, it's not going to be running back or wide receiver. It's going to be scat back. It's going to be.
Yeah, they're going to have a new title for it. It's going to be like a utility position or something like that.
Yeah, it's going to be just like Maddie said. We're not going to have running backs or wide receivers. We're going to have some sort of a hybrid position.
We'll still have receivers, but that person that's standing next to the quarterback will be like a different utility position.
Yes, they will come up with a different name for them because
they're not going to be the typical handoff and running backs. The only person I see.
It is 2023. I would say 2023
where Christian McCaffrey can thrive, for fuck's sake.
Christian McCaffrey broke the rules, and I love Chris. I'm not shitting on McCaffrey.
I love McCaffrey, not just because he's Ed's son.
Ed McCaffrey was a hell of a player, though.
Ed McCaffrey was a dog.
He was some of those that I wanted for like those fantasy drafts that we'd play in Madden. Ed McCaffrey as a backer. Yep.
I would say it's 2023. I'm going to say plus or minus 3 to 5 years. And
okay.
I'm trying to be both conservative and whatever. But I'm saying plus or minus 3 to 5 years.
Now,
what we think of as the running back position will not be in existence. It will be a hybrid, whatever the name they come up with, that is either a pass protector, a ball carrier, or a receiver. I'm not sure what the name is that will be come up with, but the running back as we know it within 2 to 3 years will be gone.
But with you saying that, do you think that killed the legacy of all the old running backs that would be close to hitting the Hall of Fame point?
I don't think.
Do you think that just killed?
No, because there will still be rushing yards and there will still be receiving yards. But what we think of as a running back, snap the ball, hand off, that is going to be gone.
Yeah.
Well, you keep saying, Cap, I think that's what it's going to be named, is a hybrid back.
An H-back.
An H-back. It's still HB.
Yeah. It's still a half.
An H-back will have 3 roles. They carry the ball, they pass block, and they receive.
Now, I will be Cap.
I love that, Cap.
I'll be
boom, boom, boom.
I will be Cap's counter argument here because he said.
Okay, go ahead.
He said, give it 2 to 5 years, give or take.
Okay.
I said 3 to 5. 3 to 5.
I say give that time span. Unfortunately, to the punters and kickers of our league, I don't think we're going to see a big change in the running backs. Maybe I'll stick with the 5 that you said, but we'll go 5 to 10 years because the Players Association is going to fight back hard against the exodus of a running back.
They will.
So what you're saying is the Ravens ain't going to have Justin Tucker anymore.
They will fight back, but they will not win.
I understand that they probably won't win, but I think them fighting will prolong it at least longer than
it'll prolong it, but they won't win it.
You're targeting my kicker, Matt. You saying I'm not going to have Justin Tucker anymore in a couple of years?
Dude, no. So here's
Tucker will just be the punter as well.
No, I was about to say, here's the thing. Kickers might be the only position that'll be safe for one reason. Who's the highest scoring player of all time? And I can tell you it's not a quarterback. It's a kicker.
Justin Tucker.
It's a kicker, and I don't think it's Tucker either. But it is a kicker. It used to.
Is it the Greek Freak or not the Greek Freak?
I think it's Vanderjagt.
It used to be Morton Anderson.
I think Vanderjagt overtook him.
But for
Adam Vinatieri?
For the longest time, the person that scored the most amount of points in NFL history was a kicker.
Yeah,
Vinatieri?
No, that's getting aside the point. My point is the punter will probably get exodized. The kickoff teams, those are going to get exercised. The kicker position, the guy that lines up, steps 3 steps to the right and backs up 15 yards and kicks the ball 60 fucking yards through a fucking upright that's about 10 feet wide. That guy is still going to get paid.
It's gonna be one and the same.
Yeah,
you have your kicker.
Devin.
He punts, he kicks, he does field goals, he does kickoffs. That's gonna be your kicker.
I don't even think we're gonna have a punter. I don't even think we're gonna have a punter. But
no, we're not.
A kicker, yes, someone that's trying to hit those 3-point field goals to give you guys that little bit of leverage or that little bit of wiggle room. Your Justin Tuckers, your Matt Praters, your Young Hokus, your
kickers are going to become your punters.
More than likely. And
I'm fine with that.
I wouldn't even doubt it if they completely say fuck the long snap punt rule and just switch it out with a kickoff, like a snap, hold, and kickoff for
okay, Cap.
Stephon Diggs.
I'm liking that I'm not seeing a single Broncos on here.
Oh,
and it's definitely not Jerry Jeudy at number one.
Now, I will quantify this because at the moment, Stephon Diggs and the Bills are not on good terms.
They couldn't land DeAndre Hopkins, so I don't blame Stephon.
So at the moment, these are subject to change. I have Stephon Diggs presently my second wide receiver overall, but given the quandaries with the Bills organization, him wanting a bigger deal,
and Nyheim Hines getting that ACL injury,
I am also looking at this. He has the
hardest strength of schedule
for wide receivers. According to fantasypros.com, Diggs has the toughest strength of schedule. He is identical in target shares with Devontae. He's going to get his touchdowns. So I have Diggs presently at number 2, but this is a very subject to change thing because right now Diggs and the Bills are not getting along, and I do not like this strength of schedule. I always, when it comes to fantasy, I look at strength of schedule. And when you have the toughest strength of schedule of any wide receiving core,
Dave's got a good shout here with Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis is probably going to have a good year if Stephon Diggs chooses not to show up for the Bills.
If he chooses not to show up, and also the Bills have shown us they could give 2 flying fucks about establishing a run game.
Josh, they ain't got a run game now that the running back's dead.
But do you think they're going to regret that with Josh Allen being the fucking cover star for the Madden?
They will whenever he gets ripped in half at the waist by 2 linebackers.
No,
what do you think his injury is going to be?
It'll be eventually something's going to happen to Josh Allen, and also he's the Madden cover athlete, so that's why I will not be drafting a single Bills player this year. I may have Diggs here, but I will go on record as saying this: anyone who's going to be involved in our fantasy football draft, I will not be drafting a single Bill because Josh Allen is the Madden cover athlete this year.
Didn't you also say you're not drafting a single Raiders because you don't trust them?
Yeah, Raiders and Bills, fuck them.
I mean,
as far as fantasy goes.
To be fair, the only part of Denver that I would logistically draft would be the defense. And that's because Denver's always had a pretty damn good defense. You know what I'm not drafting? Our kicker. Because apparently we have announced that the Denver Broncos replacement for longtime consistency man, Brandon McManus, is the man that fucked away the Cowboy season last year, Brett Maher.
No way. No fucking way. You guys have Brett?
We signed Brett Maher as our new kicker to replace Brandon McManus, and I want to fucking die anytime I see us go up to kick a field goal.
Dave,
one of my animals fucking farted, and it stinks.
Dave, you're not wrong, but I'm not touching the Bills this year because there is just so much boo-ha, hoo-ha, who shot John. I'm not trusting it this year. It's the Madden cover curse.
Hey, I will say though, if Stephon Diggs does play for the Bills this year, probably going to be a good season. All right.
I do have a question though, Cap. Since you are our fucking, before you reveal number one, since you are our fantasy legend that does fantasies for years on years, I've only done
fantasy football since 1999.
There you go. Before I was even born, you've been playing fantasy. Yeah, you've been playing fantasy since Matt was 1, and before I was even a fucking conception.
I mean, technically, if it's the 99 season, that might be 98 going into 99. Therefore, he did play the year I was born, meaning I was like 6 months old whenever he started fantasy football.
Okay, so with that being said, when it comes to drafting for NFL fantasy, I've only done it once, and that was years ago.
And we fucked around with that. We didn't even care.
Yeah, we didn't even pay attention. I didn't even know who I drafted. I can't name a single player I drafted. It was so is it like you draft a whole set of defense, you quarterback, 2 running backs, what is it, 4 wide receivers?
Okay, so your starting lineup every week.
Okay.
A quarterback.
Okay.
2 running backs.
Okay.
2 wide receivers.
Okay.
A tight end. A flex, which can be a running back, a wide receiver, or a tight end.
So that utility that Matt was talking about.
Utility. A defensive unit.
The entire defense.
The entire defense of a team, and a kicker. And then you have...
It's very similar to what I used to do on DirecTV Weekly, D.
And then on your bench, you're allowed to have an extra quarterback, 2 extra running backs, 2 extra wide receivers, an extra tight end, an extra defense, an extra kicker, and then you have 3 injured reserve.
Fuck. My team's really injury prone. God damn it. My baseball team is fucked.
Oh, yeah.
At least I have like 6 or 7 on the baseball IL?
After Cap's number 1, we forgot to jump into baseball fantasy, so we'll probably end the show with baseball fantasy.
All right,
because after this, I got to go to Save-A-Lot.
Number 1 fantasy wide receiver.
Well, Justin Jefferson, yep.
It is 2 J's, but it's not Jerry Jeudy.
Matt, Jerry Jeudy, you keep talking about him. Your team's willing to give up both your wide receivers for legitimately anything.
Let's ride.
Yeah.
I will say this. Here are my only qualms with Justin Jefferson. Right here.
Cousins?
They come down to Kirk Cousins.
7th and touchdown.
And then
quarterback rank.
No, strength of schedule.
Oh, 11th, yeah.
No, 22nd. 22nd.
Oh,
he's 11th among these guys, but he has the 22nd toughest strength of schedule. But
I will say
a 28% target share, the yards, the targets. I'm comfortable drafting Justin Jefferson as the number 1 overall wide receiver.
They are just in a really rough division for, getting yards through the air. Chicago, Detroit, Green Bay. They all.
But also, Minnesota's going to be throwing a shitload this year. They lost Dalvin Cook. Alexander Madison is a good running back, but that team is going to be throwing a shit ton this year.
Didn't Minnesota drop a bag on Cousins?
They dropped a bag on Cousins. They lost Adam Thielen, but they drafted a very highly prized rookie. So I would be comfortable, confident drafting Justin Jefferson as the number one wide receiver. My only qualm is wondering if he's going to get the touchdowns.
Do you see you drafting any rookies, Cap? Any rookies?
At wide receiver?
No, just in general. Quarterback, wide receiver, running back, as a whole.
Bijan Robinson was in like the top.
Quarterback and tight end, never at rookie.
Okay.
Not even Darnell Washington?
No. Quarterback and tight end, rookies, fuck them.
Okay.
Running backs, absolutely. Wide receivers, possibly in the right circumstance. There is a rookie wide receiver whom I have my eyeballs on, whom I will not mention because I'm saying, because I think a lot of this young man, but I don't have him in my top rankings.
It's
right? No, it is not.
It's not JSN?
Nope. There is one rookie wide receiver whom I do have my eyeballs on that I'm thinking very highly of. He's not on this list, but given certain circumstances, I could see him pole vaulting into the top 10.
Now, Cap, would you be okay? Before Matt continues, would you be willing, after you do the base census of like your fantasy, before we even draft? I would love. I'm not sure if Matt wants you to do this. I would love to see you do a top 10 rookies of what you feel like you would want to draft or not, and like based on how they played.
Going into the season.
Just top 10 rookies going into the season.
I know a lot of people would probably throw.
Bijan Robinson with Atlanta is going to be a fucking beast. Yes, I will say that.
Especially with Taylor Heineke at quarterback, if that's who they're going to go with as their starter, who they should.
Bijan Robinson with the Falcons.
Isn't Ryan still a Colt?
Who? No, Ryan retired.
Yeah, Ryan retired as a Colt.
Oh, shit.
He retired as a Colt.
Bijan Robinson is going to be an absolute beast with the Falcons. I'm not sure exactly how he could be. He could be, and please forgive me, everyone watching this. He could be the Black Christian McCaffrey.
Okay.
Does he have hands? Is he a?
No, yes. He has hands.
He has
sticky fingers.
Okay.
Sticky.
Bijan Robinson could be the next Christian McCaffrey.
Now
he would be that utility player you were talking about, Matt.
Now I want
to know, the three different.
I want to know what Cap's honorable mentions are. Like if he had to extend it to like the top 20 receivers going in.
Yeah.
Who would be the
that'd be a good
4? Like 17, 18, 19, and 20.
For wide receivers, I would throw Jerry Jeudy in there because we all know how much
Russ has.
we all know how much Sean Payton loves his slut receivers.
He really Sean Payton really did make slot wide receivers like Marquise Colston. No, dude, Marquise Colston and
Thomas.
Well, Michael Thomas became their number 1, which was a bad idea.
But he was a slut.
What was the stalwart that they had? Was it Dante?
Dante.
Yeah, another slot receiver that they had. Like Sean Payton has always turned slot receivers into stars. Speaking of, how do you guys feel about Jimmy Graham going back home?
I think
I like it. I want him to retire with him.
I think it's a mercy fuck.
It is a mercy fuck, I agree. But I would like to see
season. Fuck it, dude. Have Taysom Hill throwing him fucking bombs.
I would like to see. I like seeing original players retire with their teams. That's why I was upset that Suggs never retired with those.
On this list, so I've got 16 here. I'll throw out a couple of names. Jerry Jeudy would be in there because again, Sean Payton loves to develop slut wide receivers.
Where did you put him? From 17 to 20.
Jerry Jeudy, 16 to 20. I would honestly, Jerry Jeudy would probably be the first guy who misses the cut, honestly.
So he'd be 17.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jeudy would be the guy who misses the cut. Tyler Lockett, Seattle.
Okay. I agree.
Probably some kind of a half-ass mad combination of Keenan Allen and Mike Williams from the Chargers.
Hold on. There's one big name omitted from this list. And I understand why, and it's because where he's at. DeAndre Hopkins isn't on this list.
Because technically, before he made this, he was a free agent.
Because his quarterback is dog shit. That's why he's not on this list.
I was about to say it's because it's Tannehill, Devin. It's Tannehill.
I would say, okay.
Didn't they draft a rookie?
Last season with Malik.
No,
Willis.
this year.
It doesn't matter. It's fucking goddamn Ryan Tannehill. Doesn't matter. So I would say Jeudy, Tyler Lockett, some combination of Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, depending on how that shit shakes out.
So you'd say those two would tie for
19 somewhere, depending on which one actually doesn't get hurt.
Who would you choose between those two?
Probably Keenan.
I would choose Keenan.
I would take Mike because he's younger.
Okay. So we'll say Mike is 19.
And with this new offense that Kellen Moore is bringing in, he's going to favor a deeper pass as opposed to a slot receiver.
I still can't fucking believe that they got third string quarterback Kellen Moore as their goddamn.
So who would be your 20?
20, I would probably another Charger, Quentin Johnston. They drafted him very high. And I think, given the opportunity, because inevitably, you know, Keenan or Mike Williams, one of them is going to fucking get hurt.
Yes,
and then it's going to be Quentin Johnston who takes that second spot.
But having him over Michael Thomas out in New Orleans with the newly revitalized Derek Carr up there.
But Matt, if you look at it,
Michael Thomas has played 4 games in 3 years.
He's way too old, and if you look at Cap's lining. The oldest person he has is Amari. Yeah, according to Madden, he's still good. Fuck Madden ratings; they don't mean shit to me anymore. This year's fucked. I've been keeping up with the Madden. It's fucked.
There's a YouTube channel that I don't know if you guys know of him, but he does like YouTube shorts about NFL players reacting to shit, kind of similar to how Tom Grassley does.
I think I know who you're talking about, Matt.
It's like Ben something, but. His content's hilarious. He's been doing the Madden ratings, and it's been hilarious over the past couple of weeks.
All right, boys. I am hitting my hard timeout.
Yeah, that's getting late. Before
wrap up?
That, baseball fantasy.
Yeah, we'll wrap up with our baseball fantasy or rankings.
Just a quick rankings, and then we'll hit the out.
Let me pull this up here.
Because Devin was talking about how injured he is.
Yeah, I keep getting injured people.
Dev is bitching, but that's what Dev does.
I'm bitching because I should be first, but everyone keeps getting injured, so I'm in like third or fourth.
So it is presently
I'm second.
My brother Justin with 69 points. Dev with 67. Our buddy in San Antonio, Casey Lee, was 66.
No.
Steve Champagne was 65. My buddy from Nashville was 63. Cap is with 60. John Rice with 53. And we've got Venus Flytrap, our buddy Dave with 49. And Maddie is in dead last with 48.
Oh, Lord. Well,
I'm still so surprised how good I'm doing this year. I'm shocked.
I will say, since we are getting ready for that end of the show, thank you guys for tuning in. We got a lot coming up soon. In just
football season, raw ballers are going to be fucking all over that shit. Sundays, we will own.
A month and 15 days. At 11 a.m. Mountain Time, 12 p.m. Central. We're gonna be raw balling the entire NFL season. We've got SummerSlam.
Well, we're be like 30 minutes before the game start. 30 minutes before the game start, and then going until red zone is done.
Will we be going back to Mondays, or are we sticking with Tuesdays?
We'll see, because
it depends on our schedule.
I need to make sure for like schedule wise, because I'm off Mondays, Tuesdays. If we are going hard into Sundays,
I would say probably keep Tuesdays open, because we'll have Monday Night Football, and then Tuesdays we can recap everything.
Yeah, I was about to say keep
Mondays and Tuesdays open. Try to get Sunday, Tuesday.
Yeah, Sundays and Tuesdays, keep those open. Because Sundays we're going to be going from 30 minutes before red zone time until the end. We're going for 8 hours on Sundays.
And Matt, I assume Sundays we're streaming together?
Yeah, yes. I'll either be coming over to your place, or we'll figure something out. But
Sundays we will
go
be
to a bar or some shit.
Yeah. Sundays we will be owning. Mondays we will take off, and then Tuesday night we'll regather and regroup to go over everything.
Unless plays on Monday, in which case I'll be catching the games, or if Baltimore plays on Monday, me and Devin will probably catch the game.
So are we going to be switching to RAWBall Tuesdays now with how the baseball season, or not baseball, football season's lining up?
It might be RAWBall Tuesdays.
RAWBall Tuesdays, just because that'll give us Sundays to cover all of NFL. Take Monday off, get some fucking rest, and then Tuesday night regroup and go through everything that happened over the weekend.
Sounds fair.
Sounds like a good plan. We have a lot of pay-per-views coming up as well. SummerSlam in a week and a half.
Damn.
Yep.
It was just like yesterday they were talking about SummerSlam.
And 2 weeks after that, we're going to be here early in the morning as All In from London. We are going to be
bingo
as well.
What time?
There's going to be a London show, so probably noon.
What day is it?
Saturday.
27th. Saturday, the 27th of August.
Okay, I'm going to try to request that off.
And, yeah.
That's a Sunday. 27th is a Sunday.
Okay.
Yep, 27th is Sunday.
The only thing is we're not going to be covering the next AEW pay-per-view, because there's no way in God's green that we're shilling out $120 between 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's
when you already got fucked up with the 75 for YouTube TV.
We'll actually open up next week's show with that, because Cap, I do want your thoughts on a wrestling promotion running 2 pay-per-views back-to-back weeks. But we will...
And we also need to figure out exactly how we're going to handle covering Red Zone. Like, open up a RAWBall account. Like,
yeah, I've got the RAWBall email, so I've got that. So
for YouTube TV for Red Zone.
Yeah, so
that we can all log in, and
I think we got this. I think we'll definitely have all this ironed out in a month and a half's time. But with that, I want you guys to remind you all to stay safe, stay healthy, stay hydrated. It's hot. Cap, anything you got to plug?
Keep watching the RAWBall podcast. Once football season starts, we gonna be bringing the shit.
Devin, anything you want to say or promote before we go?
I'm agreeing with Cap. Once Sunday hits, we're gonna be here. We're gonna be there. We're gonna be everywhere. And we didn't really talk about this, and I just wish for a full recovery for Bronny James.
Oh,
and anyone else that got injured recently, but mostly Bronny James with his cardiac arrest. Yeah. I'm wishing the full recovery for him, and I'm sending the best wishes for how young he is. I'm sending the best wishes and everything to the James family and all of them.
Oh,
and
also,
thankfully for the U.S. Yep, fuck Charlie Caruso. She's bad, but fuck her. And thanks to the USC health department for catching on to Bronny's illness and making sure that he got taken care of.
He's out of the ICU.
That's about it.
So
he's out of the ICU. He's just getting checked up, and he's going to probably be released here real soon. Full recovery for Bronny. Thank you for the USC health people and everyone that works for that company. Thank you, and that's about it for me.
All right. Well, we will see you all in 1 week's time when we are back for week 21 of the RAWBall podcast. Thank you all for joining us. Ball out with the RAWBall podcast, and we will see you very soon. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.